Somewhere under Gotham, there's a file with your favorite hero's name on it. Not their origin story, not their powers, their death, written by their friend. Bruce Wayne calls them contingencies. The world calls them Justice League. But in a locked server in a room even Alfred isn't supposed to know about, Batman keeps a file for every single one of them. How to be Superman, how to break the Flash, how to trap a god. He wrote them all himself. No one asked him to. That's the part that should scare you. Because here's the question nobody in the league ever asks about out loud. If Batman trusts you enough to fight beside you, why is he already planning your funeral? The answer isn't paranoia, it's math. Batman has spent his entire life around people with power, and he's learned one brutal truth. Power doesn't corrupt slowly, it corrupts in a single bad day. One mind control incident, one clone, one evil version from another universe. Superman has turned against Earth many times, more than Batman can count on both hands. So Batman built the response before the crisis ever even happens. Not because he expects betrayal, because he refuses to be unprepared for it. Picture the room. Cold lights, no windows, a wall of screens, each one a name. Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter. Each file cross-referenced with weaknesses Batman observed personally during missions, during assignments, during quiet moments nobody else noticed while he was studying. He was just fighting alongside them. He was taking notes the entire time. Now here's where it gets even worse. These files don't stay locked forever. At some point, every single one gets stolen, hacked, leaked, weaponized. An enemy gets to the Superman file and turns him into the League's biggest threat. Someone builds robots using Batman's own blueprints for how to kill his friends. The tool to build to protect the world nearly ends it. And when the League finds out about Batman wrote files in the first place, they don't just get mad. They stop trusting him completely. Superman finds out first. He doesn't yell, he doesn't fight. He says one thing. How long have you been planning to kill me? Batman doesn't apologize, he explains. And that's the moment you start to understand who Batman actually is. Because a normal person called like that backs down. Batman doesn't. He doubles down. Why would a man risk his only friendships to keep planning their friends' deaths? Here's the operating principle underneath everything Batman does. Trust is not the same as safety. He can love these people, he can call them family, and still believe with total certainty that any one of them could become the worst threat on Earth. Not because they're evil, because anyone can be turned. Chemicals, mind control, grief, corruption, alternate timelines. Batman has seen every single one of these things happen to a good person. So his rule isn't trust no one. His rule is trust, but always keep the exit ready. This is where most people misread Batman. They think that the contingency plans make him cold. They don't. They make him the only person in the room who's thinking clearly when everyone else is emotionally compromised. When Superman is turned, panic spreads through the League in seconds. Batman doesn't panic. He opens his drawer because he already knows the day might come. But there's one file in the room that even League never finds. The one he never talks about. The one written for himself. Batman has a contingency for Batman. A plan for what happens if he's the one who breaks, if grief turns him violent, if he crosses a line he swore he never would. He designed fail-safes to stop himself because he trusts his own mind exactly as little as he trusts anyone else. That is not self-hatred, that's consistency. That's the same rule applied to every person he's ever loved, applied to himself first. This is the actual engine behind everything Batman does. Not gadgets, not fear, preparation as a form of love. He doesn't write these files because he expects the worst from people. He writes them because he refuses to be the reason the worst happens and no one's ready. So the next time you see Batman standing quietly at the edge of Justice League meeting, saying nothing, watching everyone, you're not looking at his distrust. You're looking at a man doing the emotional labor no one else wants to do, carrying the weight of what if my friend becomes my enemy, so that if that ever happens, someone in the room already knows what to do. He'd rather be hated for being ready than being forgiven for being caught off guard. That's the whole doctrine underneath the cape that case files. Batman doesn't operate on trust, he operates on readiness, because in the world, love without plan isn't protection, it's a liability. The scariest thing about Batman was never the file of Superman, it's the one that he made for himself, and he still hasn't shown anyone what's in it.